Isaiah chapter 1. The vision concerning Judah and Jerusalem that Isaiah son of Amos saw during the reigns of Uzziah, Jotham, Ahaz, and Hezekiah, king of Judah. A rebellious nation. Hear me, you heavens. Listen us, for the Lord has spoken. I reared the children and brought them up, but they have rebelled against me. The ox knows its master, the donkey its owner's manner, but Israel does not know, my people do not understand. Woe to the simple nations, a people whose guilt is great, a brood of evildoers, children given to corruption. They have forsaken the Lord, they have spurned the Holy One of Israel, and turned their backs on him. Why should you be beaten anymore? Why do you persist in rebellion? Your whole head is injured, your whole heart afflicted. From the sole of your foot to the top of your head there is no soundness, only wounds and welts and open sores not cleansed or bandaged or soothed with olive oil. Your country is desolate, your city is burned with fire. Your fields are being stripped by foreigners. Light before you, laid waste as when overthrown by strangers. Daughter Zion is left like a shelter in a vineyard, like a hut in a concave field, like a seat on the seas. Unless the Lord Almighty had left us some survivors, we would have become like Sodom, we would have been like Gomorrah. Hear the word of the Lord, you rulers of Sodom, listen to the instruction of our God. You people of Gomorrah, the multitude of your sacrifice, what are they to me, say the Lord? I have more than enough of burnt offerings, of lambs and the fat of flattened animals. The multitude of your sacrifice, what are they to me? Say the Lord, I have more than enough of burnt offerings, of lambs and the fat of fattened animals. I have no flesh in the blood of bulls and lambs and goats. When you come to appear before me, who has shaken this of you, this trembling of my couch? Stop bringing meaningless offerings. Your incense is detestable to me. New moons, Sabbaths, and convocations, I cannot bear your worthless assemblies. Your new moon feasts and your appointed festivals, I hate with all my beings. They have become a burden to me. I am weary of bearing them. When you spread out your hand in prayer, I hide my eyes from you. Even when you offer many prayers, I am not listening. Your hands are full of blood. Wash and make yourselves clean. Take your evil deeds out of my sight. Stop doing wrong. Learn to do right. Seek justice. Defend the oppressed. Take up the cause of the fatherless. Plead the case of the widows. Come now, let us settle the matters, says the Lord. Though your sins are like scarlet, they shall be as white as snow. Though they are red as crimson, they shall be like wool. If you are willing and obedient, you will eat the good things of the land. But if you resist and rebel, you will be devoured by the sword. For the mouth of the Lord has spoken. See how the faithful city has become a prostitute. See, once full of justice, righteousness used to dwell in her, but now murderous. Your silver has become dross, your choicest wine is diluted with water. Your rulers are rebels, partners with thieves. They all love bribes and get after gift. They do not defend the cause of the fatherless. The widow's case does not come before them. Therefore the Lord Almighty, the mighty one of Israel declares, Aha, I will bend my wrath on my foes and avenge myself on my enemies. I'll turn my hand against you. I'll thoroughly force away your throats and remove all your impurities. I will restore your leaders as in days of old, your rulers as at the beginning. Afterward, you will be called the city of righteousness, the faithful city. Zion will be delivered with justice, her penitent ones with righteousness. But rebels and sinners will both be broken, and those who forsake the Lord will perish. You will be ashamed because of the scarlet oaks and which you have delighted. You have been disgraceful because of the gardens that you have chosen. You will be like an oak with fading leaves, like a garden without water. The mighty man will become tinder, and his work a spark. Both will burn together with no one to quench the fire. The mountains of the Lord, chapter 2. This is what Isaiah son of Amoz saw concerning Judah and Jerusalem. In the last days, the mountain of the Lord's temple will be established as the highest of the mountains. It will be exalted above the hills, and all nations will stream to it. Many peoples will come and say, "Let us go up to the mountains of the Lord, to the temple of the God of Jacob. He will teach us his ways, so that we may walk in his paths. The law will go out from Zion, the word of the Lord from Jerusalem. He will judge between the nations and will settle disputes for many peoples. They will beat their sword into plowshares and their spears into pruning hooks. Nations will not take up sword against nations, nor will they train for war anymore. Come, descendants of Jacob, let us walk in the light of the Lord. The day of the Lord, you, Lord, have abandoned your people, the descendants of Jacob. They are full of superstition from the east. They practice divinations like the Philistines and embraces pagan customs. Their land is full of silver and gold. There is no end to their treasures. Their land is full of horses. There is no end to their chariot. Their land is full of idols. They bow down to the works of their hand. To what their fingers have made, so people will be brought low, and everyone humbled. Do not forgive them. Go into the rocks, hide in the ground, from the fearful presence of the Lord and the splendor of his master. The eyes of the arrogant will be humbled, and the human pride brought low. The Lord alone will be exalted in that day. The Lord Almighty has a day in store for all the proud and lofty, for all that is exalted, and they will be humbled. For all the cedars of Lebanon tall and lofty, and all the ashes of Bashan. For all the towering mountains and all the light hills, for every lofty towers and every fortified walls, for every trading ship and every stately vessels, the arrogance of men will be brought low, and the human pride humbled. The Lord alone will be exalted in that day, and the idols will totally disappear. People will flee to the caves in the rocks and to holes in the ground, from the fearful presence of the Lord and the splendor of his majesty. When he lies to shake the earth in the day, people will throw away up to the moors and beds the idols of silver and idols of gold which they made to worship. They will flee to the caverns in the rocks and to the overhanging cracks, from the fearful presence of the Lord and the splendor of his master. When he rises to shake the earth, stop trusting in mere humans who have but a breath in their nostril. Why hold them in esteem? Judgment on Jerusalem and Judah. Chapter 3. See now, the Lord Almighty, is about to take from Jerusalem and Judah both supply and support. All supplies of food and all supplies of water, the hero and the warrior, the judge and the prophet, the diviner, and the elder, the captain of 50, and the man of rank, the counselor, skilled craftsman, and clever enchant. I'll make mere use their official. Children will rule over them. People will oppress each other, man against man, neighbor against neighbor. The young will rise up against the Lord. The nobody against the honored. A man will seize one of his brothers in his father's house and say, You have a clerk, you be our leader, take charge of this heap of ruins. But in that day he will cry out, I have no remedy, I have no food or clothing in my house. Do not make me the leader of the people. Jerusalem struggles, Judah is falling. Their word and deeds are against the Lord, defying his glorious presence. The look on their faces testifies against them. They parade their sins like Sodom. They do not hide it. Woe to them! They have brought disaster upon themselves. Tell the righteous it will be well with them, for they will enjoy the fruit of their deeds. Woe to the wicked! Disaster is upon them. They will be paid back for what their hands have done. Youths oppress my people. Women rule over them. My people, your guides lead you astray. They turn you from the path. The Lord takes his price in court. He rises to judge the people. The Lord enters into judgment against the elders and the leaders of his people. It is you who have ruined my vineyard. The plunder from the poor is in your houses. What do you mean by crossing my people and grinding the faces of the poor? Declares the Lord Almighty. The Lord says, the women of Zion are haughty, walking along with outstretched neck, flirting with their eyes, strutting, shutting along with swaying hips, with ornament jingling on their ankles. Therefore the Lord will bring swords on the heads of the women of Zion. The Lord will make their scalps bald. In that day the Lord will snatch away their finery, the bangles and the headbands and the crescent necklace, the earring and the bracelet and bells, the head dresses and the anklets and the sashes, the perfume bottles and the charms, the signet ring and the nose rings, the fire lobes and the capes and the clocks, the purples and the mirrors and the linen garment and tiaras and the showers. Instead of fragrance, there will be a stretch. Instead of a shish or loaf, instead of well-dressed hair, a baldness. Instead of fine clothing, sackcloth. Instead of beauty, branding. Your men will fall by the sword. Your warriors in battle. The gates of Zion will lament and mourn. Destitute, she will sit on the ground. Chapter 4. In that day 7 women will take hold of one man and say, We will eat our own food and provide our own clothes. Oh, let us be called by your name, take away our disgrace. The branch of the Lord. In that day the branch of the Lord will be beautiful and glorious, and the fruit of the land will be the pride and glory of the survivors in Israel. Those who are left in Zion, who remain in Jerusalem, will be called holy, all who are recorded among the living in Jerusalem. The Lord will wash away the filth of the women of Zion. He will cleanse the blood stains from Jerusalem by a spirit of judgment and a spirit of fire. Then the Lord will create over all of Mountain Zion and over those who assemble that there a cloud of smoke by day and a glow of flaming fire by night. Over everything the glory will be a canopy. It will be a shelter and a shade from the heat of the day, and a refuge and a hiding place from the storm and rain. The Song of the Vineyard, Chapter 5. I will sing for the one I love, a song about his vineyard. My loved one had a vineyard on a fertile hillside. He dug it up and cleared it of stones and planted it with the choiced vines. He built a watchtower in it and cut out a wine press as well. Then he looked for a crop of good grapes, but it yielded only bad fruit. Now you dwellers in Jerusalem and the people of Judah, judge between me and my vineyard. What more could have been done for my vineyard than I have done for it? When I looked for good grapes, why did it yield only bad? Now I will tell you what I am going to do. My vineyard, I will take away each hedge and it will be destroyed. I'll break down each wall and it will be trampled. I'll make it a wasteland, neither front true nor cultivated, and briars and thorns will grow there. I'll command the clouds not to rain on it. The vineyard of the Lord Almighty is the nations of Israel, and the people of Judah are the vines he delighted in, and he looked for justice, but saw bloodshed, for righteousness, but had the cries of distress. Oaths and judgment. Oh, to you who had house and joined field to field, till no space is left, and you live alone in the land. The Lord Almighty has declared in my hearing. Sure, the great houses will become destroyed, the pine mansions left without occupant. A 10-acre vineyard will produce only a vessel of wine. A homer of seed will yield only an ephah of grain. Oh, to those who rise early in the morning to run after their drinks, who stay up late at night till they are inflamed with wine. They have house and rears at their banquet, pipes and timbrels and wine, but they have no regard for the deeds of the Lord, no respect for the work of his hand. Therefore my people will go into exile for lack of understanding. Those of high rank will die of hunger, and the common people will be parched with thirst. Therefore death expands its jaws, offering wide its mouth. Into it will descend their nobles and message with all their brawls and rebellers. So people will be brought low, and everyone humbled, the eyes of the arrogant humbled. But the Lord Almighty will be exalted by his justice, and the Holy God will be proved holy by his righteousness. Then sheep will graze as in their own pastures, lambs will feed among the ruins of the rich. Woe to those who draw sin along with the clothes of deceit and wickedness as with cut ropes. To those who say, let go holy, let him hasten his work, so we may see it, the plan of the Holy One of Israel. Let it approach, let it come into view, so we may know it. Oh, to those who call evil good and good evil, who put darkness for light and light for darkness, who put bitter for sweet and sweet for bitter. Oh, to those who are wise in their own eyes and clever in their own sight. Oh, to those who are heroes at drinking wine and champions at mixing drinks, who acquit the guilty of for bribe, but deny justice to the innocent. Therefore, as tongues of fire leaks of straw, and as dry grass sinks thrown down in the flames, so their roots will decay and their flowers blow away like dust. For they have rejected the law of the Lord Almighty and spurned the word of the Holy One of Israel. Therefore the Lord's anger burns against his people. His hand is raised and he strikes them down. The mountains shake and the dead bodies are like refuse in the street. Yet for all this, his anger is not turned away, his hand is still upraised. He lifts up a banner for the distant nations, he whistles for those who at the end of the earth. Here they come, swiftly and speedily. Not one of them grows tired or slumbers, not one slumbers or asleep. Not a belt is loosened at the waist, not a sandal strap is broken. Their arrows are sharp, all their bows are strong, and their horses' hooves seem like flint. Their chariot is like a whirlwind. Their roar is like that of the lion. They roar like young lions. They growl as they seize the prey and carry it up with no one to rescue. In that day they will roar over it like the roaring of the sea, And if one looks at the land, there is one darkness and distress. Even the sun will be darkened by clouds. Amen.